put a stick to it, and the fall in front of the net by Milosh to smother the puck.
Sutter standing in front, dueling with the rookie. Thought the pass was meant for him, but the pass was intended for Doug Crossman coming in from the point. Intercepted it and never really got a shot away. The puck trickled into the crease. Still plenty of time, though. 6 seconds remaining. Lysiak out there. Now Savard comes out because he's a right-hand shot. They want the face-off to be pulled back towards Doug Wilson. Lysiak, the left-hand shot, would definitely stay out if the face-off was on the other side. All three Blackhawk forwards going to set up a wall to interfere with the North Stars as Savard tries to win the drawback.
To Wilson. He hits the post. 2 seconds to go. And the Hawks come oh so close as Savard fights his way to the puck, sets up Wilson, and he drills it off the right post. That's the end of 40 minutes of play. A score.
No score.
Well, it's anybody's hockey game. Certainly that's how the North Stars feel. The crowd here in the Blackhawks.
No score.
Well, it's anybody's hockey game. Certainly that's how the North Stars feel. The crowd here in the Blackhawks feel that this game belongs to the Norris Division champions. Ready to go. Bruce Hood, who's kept a tight rein on things, drops the puck. Both teams at full strength. Tom McCarthy, a wicked shot caught by Bannerman. Wilson with a puck, poke check. Then Wilson gets the puck back. He's on with Bob Murray. Dennis Savard, Secord, and Larber. Puck deflected away by Roberts. Secord jams it into the Minnesota zone. Brad Maxwell back for it. This is Brad Maxwell. Veteran defenseman stopped by Secord. Wilson ahead for Savard. The pass just out of his reach. Savard all over the North Stars player. Able to touch the puck first is Minnesota as Roberts gets back and it's icing against Chicago.
Wilson trying to feed Savard up the middle through the two North Stars defensemen, just missed him. The pass was made inside the red line in the Hawks half of the ice. An icing call is with Gordy Roberts. The North Stars nomination for the Bill Masterton Award. Tony Esposito, on the other hand, the Blackhawks nomination for this year's award.
Both of these teams, outstanding road teams, play 500 or better on the road. North Stars last year were one of only 6 teams in the league to play 500 or better on the road. Oh, these two teams really go at it. Another super game tonight, 1-0. Minnesota. Cicerelli to the right of the Chicago net, and Lysiak drives Smith into the boards. Here's Rich Preston barreling down the wing. Shoots the puck in, then he's upended. Milosh plays it along the boards, box up from the point, and the puck goes to Smith. 2-on-2 with Freese. Crossman and Preston back the shot over the net. Bannerman keeps the puck behind the net, makes sure Crossman has it. He's upended. Lysiak steers it by Hartsburg in a race now with Cicerelli. Lysiak avoids the check. Cicerelli from the seat of his pants plays the puck to Valashek, up to Freese, and Sutter back to steal it away. This is Doug Crossman, the crafty Chicago defenseman. The youngster shot just wide. Now it's Steve Payne. The North Stars left winger. The pass up for Young. He's off balance. Cicerelli trying to stick handle in center ice. He's tripped. Higgins gets his leg out. Cicerelli is down and he may be hurt. Dino Cicerelli at the center of the rink is hurt. It might be the knee.
Higgins sticking his leg out to trip Cicerelli up at center ice, gets a penalty for tripping.
And the Blackhawks will play one man short.
As a fan club here it is, the tripping that Higgins putting his left knee out to upend Cicerelli. Cicerelli, probably with a Charlie horse, went down. Took him a while to get back up on his feet, but he seems to be going off in his own steam.
He's felt better, obviously, than he does at the moment. Minnesota has the man advantage, trailing 1-0. And the puck drilled into the Minnesota bench, and it skips out into the crowd.
North Stars having a bit of a chuckle. That shot by Bob Murray. He deflected off the back of Mandich, as you see Mandich sitting there describing what happened.
Maxwell. Roberts. Back to Maxwell. In front all alone, Bellows. Now it's Eaves, and he's robbed. Some great efforts by Murray Bannerman, who's been tremendous tonight. Rick Patterson killing the penalty with Gardner. Gardner ready to spring loose. And Patterson continues to stick-handle the puck. A one-man show. Wilson on defense with Murray. Hawks playing one of their finest games of the season. Patterson dunked the penalty coming up to Minnesota. Bannerman to the bench. Look at Rick Patterson. Out to Lysiak. The shot. And that hits a player. And as Malage touches the puck, the penalty against the North Stars. You can't say enough about the work by Rick Patterson, often overlooked on this great Blackhawk team.
Tremendous work. You thought that was Dennis Savard out there. He had the puck for a good 35-40 seconds, killing it off, making some excellent moves, keeping control, and then finally was yanked down to the ice by Roberts to call a penalty. Hood was right there, an excellent call to even things up. A penalty apiece in the third period.
A minute 2 remaining in Higgins' penalty, a 2-minute minor to Gordy Roberts. Murray Bannerman has been sensational.
What a save he makes here. Patterson deflects it right to Bellows. Bellows shoots the backhand, the initial save. Rebound squirts loose. Patterson goes down to block the shot to prevent a sure goal. And Gardner comes back to trip up Eaves as he had an attempt at an open net.
Two teams playing 5 aside, 4 skaters in front of the goalies. Sutter, Lysiak, Crossman, and Fox for Chicago. Up the ice is Broughton. Malashek gives the puck to Hartsburg. Hartsburg's pass knocked down by Lysiak with a sweep check. Broughton back to the point. Malashek is shot wide. Along the near boards, McCarthy. He hands it to Lysiak, waiting for Crossman. 3-on-2. Lysiak to Sutter. The shot. And that's knocked down. Hartsburg behind his own net. Half a minute, Higgins will be back on. Blackhawks will have the power play. And they lead 1-0. Savard scoring at 3:57 in the first period while Chicago had a man advantage. Hartsburg to McCarthy, the shot. And Bannerman just threw on his leg on that one that goes wide. Now it's Fox. Behind the net, Crossman still hassling with McCarthy. And the puck back near the Minnesota net. And Crossman and McCarthy head to their benches. Higgins back on. And the North Stars give the puck right to Higgins. Now it's Bob Murray. Higgins looking to go to the bench. He does. Larmer on with Savard and Secord. Here's Secord. Puck in the corner. Savard will get to it. Savard trying to get around Young. Maxwell banks it off the boards. Bob Murray over to Wilson. The shot. A great save. Malage does the splits and gets a stick on it. Bob Murray with a puck. He gets around George Ferguson. He's got Larmer to his right. Back at the point. Now Wilson moves into the center. Secord is in front. Back to the boards is Savard, and Wilson shot wide. Hawks, when they've had the power play tonight, have had stupendous pressure. They lead 1-0. Here's Savard. Never really got good control of the puck. 5 seconds. Roberts will be back. Wilson unloads, and a stick save by Malage. Bob Murray wide, and Savard couldn't quite turn it in. The North Stars back in full strength. George Ferguson on a feed from Tim Young to Brad Maxwell. He fans in the shot. And here's Bob Murray from behind his own net. The Blackhawks, with 15 minutes to go, lead the North Stars 1-0. Savard, who has been super tonight, as if he is in other nights, gets it to Secord, out to O'Callaghan. Now Wilson. The pass knocked down by Savard onto Maxwell's stick. Mike Eaves with Payne into the Chicago zone, and Hartsburg a shot. And that goes just over the crossbar. Larmer chops the puck ahead. Ludzik does a good job with it. Here's Steve Ludzik all alone as the Hawks change players. And Hartsburg puts an end to the rush by Ludzik. Eaves up to Bellows too far. Higgins gives the puck to Ludzik out of his reach. Steve Payne hands Gives it to Fraser. The two teams trying to get organized now. Belichick bumps Fraser down. Ludwig turns away from Hartsburg. A Fraser shot. And Melange just gets his arm out as Fraser came very close to making it 2-0. Here's a chance for Higgins. The shot is scored. Tim Higgins.
Excellent pressure by Ludwig and Fraser. Tremendous work in the corners. Ludwig set up Fraser. Ludwig here. What a nice play to Higgins. Higgins walks in. The screen shot high to the glove side in the top corner. An excellent play by Ludwig to set up Tim Higgins. This place going crazy here. Some excellent work. We'll get the angle of it, the goaltender's vision. He had no chance. The wicked shot blown right by, as Melange couldn't see it to the last second.
Tim Higgins giving Chicago a 2-0 lead with his 13th goal of the year. Bobby Smith for Minnesota. The shot, the save by Bannerman. Now it's Fox. Gets it to center ice. After the goal by Higgins, some fans in the first level draped a huge banner behind Joe Melange that said, "We sniff a cup." And that's what this crowd is smelling. And the puck goes off Patterson wide of the net on a centering effort by Gardner. Patterson goes down with Freese, and the puck held for a faceoff.
So much noise in your whole life. Incredible building, the Chicago Stadium. And the Blackhawks putting on a fine display of the way the game should be played. Great skating, good puck handling, good goaltending. We've had it all in this 8th game between these two Norris Division rivals.
Blackhawks looking like they're well-oiled for the playoffs, which begin 1 week from tonight. And they'll tune up this weekend. 2 matches with a team they'll undoubtedly face in the best-of-5 series. Cicerelli's pass broken up. Freese battling for the puck, and Crossman has it. Off the boards to Fox. 13:10 to go. Chicago leads Minnesota 2-0. And the play offside as the linesman Ron Finn says Patterson brought it back from the neutral zone. It's 2-0 Chicago. Snow State leads DePaul 52-51. DePaul trying to pick up their first NIT championship since 1945. Both teams at full strength, and the puck shot into the Chicago zone. Broughton intercepts. Broughton comes in front, and the puck slides through the goal crease, and Sutter clears it down the ice. Backboard Giles touching it, icing against the Chicago Blackhawks with 12:40 to go. And Dale, the final meeting of the regular season, the Blackhawks trying to write the last chapter of this sensational 8-game regular season series, and trying to write a chapter that has a great finishing touch for the Blackhawks. And what a victory would mean, getting ready for the playoffs and possibly a look at the North Stars in the second round, unless your prognosis and wish for a Toronto victory in the first round over Minnesota comes through. North Stars fighting feverishly, and the puck comes to Sutter with Preston. Broughton hooking Sutter, impedes his shot. Sutter still centers, and then Flood plays it away from Lige. Yet Bob Murray's shot knocked down. Loose puck in the Minnesota end. McCarthy puts it off the skate of Preston, and it's Bob Murray right through the goal mouth with a pass. Lysiak to Wilson, the shot, and Melange the save. The Hawks have had intense pressure all 3 periods, and the Blackhawks with a 2-0 lead, and the North Stars now just fighting to get the puck out of their own end. Lysiak set up by Wilson. He's got Secord with him. He shoots and scores. This place, 3-0 Blackhawks, and they're
Secord coming off the bench, a 2-on-1. Lysiak just blistering a quick wrist shot by Milosh. A similar position to Tim Higgins' 13th goal of the year. Watch this puck dent the mesh here. The quick wrist shot beating Milosh high to the glove side.
Less than 12 minutes to go. A commanding 3-0 Blackhawk lead. Beamster up to Secord. Oh, the Hawks have played well tonight. Savard, here's the shot. Milosh the save. Randy Valashek. And Ferguson gets the puck in. Bannerman leaves it for O'Callaghan, then at the last second sweeps it along the boards for Larmer. He can't get loose, and the puck behind the Chicago net. Here's Savard. Boy, has he been inspired tonight. Unwinding. Savard moving towards the goal. Leaves the puck behind the Minnesota net. Secord was tied up, and when Secord couldn't get to it, Bellows clears it to center ice. Here's Hartsburg trying to sidestep Beamster. Knocked down, and with a puck, Savard. He can't clear. Bellows keeps it in. Overskates the puck. A chance now for Smith. The paint cutting in. A quick shot wide. O'Callaghan will pick up a penalty for upending Bellows in front of the Chicago net. Milosh goes to the bench. Minnesota with an extra attacker. O'Callaghan will be going off. Here's Hartsburg for the North Stars. Good move in front. The puck to the corner. Eaves behind the net for Cicerelli. Back to the point. Roberts, a shot deflected by Eaves, and an incredible sliding save by Murray Bannerman. Then the whistle and the penalty against Jack O'Callaghan. This crowd chanting, "Murray, Murray!" Well, the Chicago Bulls have certainly been superb in their last two games here. The victory last Saturday over the Celtics, and the incredible win last night over the Philadelphia 76ers. And the Bulls will be back here in stadium action on Friday night against the Atlanta Hawks. Then next Tuesday here at the stadium, it's the Cleveland Cavaliers against the Bulls. Pick up your Bulls tickets in the Bulls office through Ticketron or Telethon, and you can use your Visa or MasterCard to purchase Bulls NBA tickets. The Hawks with third period goals from Higgins at 5:51 is 13th, and Lysiak is 23rd of the campaign at 8:09 after the first period power play goal from Dennis Savard, and it is 3-0 Chicago.
Toronto Maple Leafs defeating Detroit Red Wings to pull ahead of Minnesota by 3 points for that third spot in the Norris Division.
Toronto now 66 points with 2 games left against Philadelphia and Buffalo. Third in the Norris Division. St. Louis is fourth, 63 points. The 2 games this weekend with Chicago. So it looks like Toronto will finish third. And Broughton trips up the Chicago player Gardner. And Broughton will get a penalty. Both teams will be a man short.
You can see why Murray Oliver doesn't really appreciate being a head coach. When players do something like that, that's the third time that the North Stars have done that. They've had the man advantage and they've taken a penalty while having the man advantage. Taking a penalty deep in their own zone behind the net.
Neil Broughton joins Jack O'Callaghan in the penalty box. Murray Oliver jumping away on the gum behind his North Stars. So it looks like, barring some truly unforeseen results in the remaining few days of the season, that it'll be the Blackhawks against the Blues a week from tonight in Game 1 of the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs, as Milosh grabs that puck gliding through the air and holds it for a face-off. Now only 10 minutes to go in the game.
Blackhawks not giving up a goal. The last 50 minutes of play at home, 60 minutes on Sunday, 110 minutes, 130 minutes. They haven't given up a goal.
Smith with McCarthy. Back Maxwell and Roberts. Both teams playing a man short. Into the slot for Maxwell. He pokes the puck ahead. It goes weakly wide. Wilson ties up Smith, and Bob Murray throws in a little shove, and the faceoff will be near Murray Bannerman.
Look at Doug Wilson tying up Bobby Smith, two former stars in the Ontario Junior Hockey League with Ottawa 67's junior team.
Blackhawks trying to blank Minnesota, which would kind of be the icing on the cake in the final meeting of the regular season. Trying to make it 5 shutouts of Bows this season in the first 78 games. And they said that the shutout was gone from the NHL. Gordy Roberts. Up to McCarthy. Tom McCarthy. To Smith. And the puck off the glass back to center ice. Here's Maxwell with it. 9:15 to go. Both teams playing a man short for just about a minute. 3-0 Chicago. Dino Ciccarelli with Bobby Smith. The shot off Bannerman and off the side of the goalpost. Bobby Smith looking to center, and it deflects off Roberts out to the neutral area. Gordy Roberts with a puck, leaves it for Craig Hartsburg, the Stars captain, and Preston intercepts. Preston with Lysiak, Fox, and Crossman. Fox shoots it in. Bouncing puck knocked down by Milosh. Blackhawks make a wholesale player change. 20 seconds and O'Callahan will be back on. 11 seconds after that, Broughton will return to the ice. Hartsburg, long shot, lofts wide of the net. Glove by Bannerman, quickly ahead for Fraser, by him. Hartsburg keeps it into Ciccarelli. Now a chance for Ciccarelli again on the feed from Belichick, and Beaster will pick up a penalty for holding Dino Ciccarelli. That's the second time Beamster will pick up a penalty for an infraction against the much-hated Dino Ciccarelli.
Again, Hood calling everything. Ciccarelli really, in the Chicago fans' bad books, hasn't really done anything all night. Good penalty call there by Hood, though. Beamster was draped all over Ciccarelli.
Really not that much for Dino Ciccarelli to be smiling about. His team down by 3 goals, losing last night at home. They've won only once in their last 5 road games. Their last game of the season will be this weekend in Los Angeles against the Kings, who have pretty well packed their bags for Florida. So the North Stars going into LA, assuming they lose this one, will really have to fight and claw to pick up a win on the road to get that road winning feeling back before they go into the playoffs, probably against Toronto in the first round.
Exactly right. You can't turn it off and on like a tap. You've got to have momentum going into the playoffs. The Blackhawks obviously have some momentum going, finishing off the season playing so well defensively. Ever since that second period in Vancouver, they've totally dominated their opponents. They played so well in Vancouver in the second and third periods.
That 3-goal surge last Friday night against the Canucks to earn a 3-3 tie really has turned it around for the Blackhawks. They have played superb since then and have totally held off their opponents. So Callahan back on, and an extra pass in front, maybe one too many by Mike Eaves. Here's Lysiak. 8:05 left. Chicago 1 man short. Beamster in the penalty box, serving the holding penalty. And the Hawks really in the driver's seat now. Less than 8 minutes remaining, leading 3-0. Trying to notch their 46th victory of the year. Ciccarelli hits the side of the net. And Preston backhands the puck down the ice. North Stars power play. Eaves. Ciccarelli has to give it back to Broughton. The Hawks standing up at the blue line. Ciccarelli bumped by Preston. Broughton at the point for Ciccarelli in front. The puck goes off the shoulder of Bellows. The crowd reacting as Wilson kind of smushed Ciccarelli into the ice. Boy, the crowd forgetting the puck when Ciccarelli's on the ice. They just follow number 20. Both teams changing players. 7 minutes remaining. Only one more regular season game after this one here at the stadium. That's Sunday night. And then it's the charge to the Stanley Cup. And again, the Hawks stop the North Stars power play. 21 seconds. Beamster will be back on. Brad Maxwell out of his own zone leads the Minnesota Rush. And offside is Payne on the left wing. And the whistle stops play here in the third period with 6:35 to go.
That time, the Hawk defense crew standing up the blue line, forcing Maxwell to make his move outside the blue line, and that put the North Stars offside. Blackhawks in the first two periods killed off 6 penalties, 3 in the first, 3 in the second. This is their third penalty of the third period.
Will Dr. William Craver please go to game 2 immediately?
Blackhawks with a victory tonight will have 102 points.
North Stars in 44 games on Chicago Stadium ice have only mustered up 7 wins and 5 ties, 32 losses. Overall, in 89 games played, the two teams in their history, Blackhawks hold a commanding lead, 53 victories, 26 losses, and 10 ties.
And that home ice domination the Hawks have had is certainly important. The save by Bannerman on McCarthy, loose puck, and it's swept under Bannerman by his teammate Rick Patterson. And again, Murray Bannerman bringing the crowd to its feet.
Bannerman making the initial save on the low, hard shot. Went to clear the rebound. Ian Patterson overskated it. There's the initial save. The puck squirts loose. Bannerman comes out. He fans on it and then pulls the puck back in right here as Patterson aids him to smother the puck.
Smith wins the draw. Maxwell shot, and again, Murray Bannerman makes the save. He's been outstanding. He's got to really have frustrated the North Stars. We point out how well the Hawks have played tonight, Dale, and it has only been here in the third period they've really been able to get a good jump on the North Stars, which is much to the Stars' credit. They are an outstanding team, and they have played very well tonight.
Excellent hockey game, and action. The goaltending has been just outstanding. Milosh has had to come up with a lot of big stops, especially in the first period. Bannerman was the story in the start of the second period. Then the Hawks came on. Good goaltending has a tendency to do that, to pick you up after a while when you let down. And again in the third period, he's been outstanding.
Maxwell has shot, the save, and the rebound effort goes just wide. Roberts at the point after Payne was all around Bannerman, who makes another save with Smith and McCarthy there, and you see Bannerman taking exception with Bobby Smith. And Bannerman will shake his hand. He's over in the corner. He got a whack on that left gloved hand. And he certainly wasn't happy about it at all.
North Stars were draped all over Bannerman in the crease. Just couldn't put it by him. There's the empty net that was just missed. A pile up in the crease. Bannerman on the bottom. You see Payne there with Bob Murray. After he picks the puck up and freezes it, watch him get up. Now he's a little upset with Bobby Smith. He turns around and then skates off to the corner to cool off.
6 minutes, 4 seconds. That's all that's left as the Hawks have a 3-0 lead. Both teams at full strength now. North Stars forcing the play. Ferguson looking to center. Can't. Savard, a good job on George Ferguson. And a face-off upcoming in the Chicago zone. Now let's go back to our Sports Vision studios and an NIT update with Dick Gunson. From the face-off, the puck comes high. And the face-off with another whistle will come back near the Chicago net with 5:42 to go. The Blackhawks scoring 3 more goals tonight. Now just 5 goals away from a new club record for most goals scored in a season. The current record, 332 goals scored a season ago. Secord, 2 large. the Blackhawks goals this season upended, and the North Stars down 3-0 with time running out will have to play shorthanded. Again, we remind you, 2 Blackhawk games coming up this weekend. Saturday night from the Checker Dome in St. Louis, the Blackhawks and the Blues. Then Sunday, the season, the regular portion concludes here at the stadium. Again, Chicago and St. Louis. And each and every Blackhawk playoff game, home and away,